Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have some Dollar Tree DIYs today, and I have these two little cute picture frames, and I'm just going to take the backs out and the glass out and put it to the side. Then I'm going to paint them with some plaster Waverly chalk paint and some folk art gold paint, and I had to give it a few coats of the gold paint. And I have these note cards from the card section in Dollar Tree, and I got two different designs, and they have loads of pretty designs actually. And I'm just taking the glass and I'm putting it over which part of the design I want to show in my picture frame, and I'm just tracing around the glass, and then I'm going to cut it out with some scissors. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you won't see the edges once it's in the frame. And then I just put it all back together. I gave it a wee clean, the glass a wee clean. And then I just popped it back in the back and closed over the tabs. And these were so easy to make and really cute. And you can use them on a tier tray or a shelf, or just, I don't have much stuff to style with when I'm taking pictures of what I make, so I made these. And then here I'm just adding some of the flowers from Dollar Tree with some hot glue. And you can use whatever colours you like, whatever designs that you like from the card section. Oh, I put another little piece of greenery on. And this is how it turned out, and I think they turned out so cute. So I'll definitely be using them to style stuff in the future. And I have 3 palettes from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue them together with this super glue wood glue. And these two I'm going to join together like this, and just getting rid of the extra glue. And then I decided to hold it together with these 2 clips, also from Dollar Tree. And then that was me checking if it was level. And then I'm going to glue them to this other palette. And I'm making this so that it can stand up like this by itself, but you could always add some beads or whatever and make a hanger. And I'm just going to stain it with the Waverly Antique Wax. And then I'm taking 2 more of these note cards. And then I wanted to get a really straight edge, so I used this paper cutter. They needed to join together. And then I'm using this adhesive spray, and I think I got it at Walmart. I only used it like once before. It's so sticky on your fingers, but you have to spray enough to make it stick, but not too much that it comes through, because it did, when I was using that scraper tool, it did take off a little bit of the cold on it, so I wouldn't use that. And then I'm just standing it upright. I just put a candle on it and some succulents, and you can always hang it on the wall and make it a shelf. I used some super glue wood glue to glue all these beads together. I'm going to show you how I did it. I did it from the biggest to the smallest on the bigger ones, and then the other ones I didn't use the biggest bead, and I just used the next sizes down, and I did 17 of each. And I'll link the beads down. What's wrong with me today? The beads down below if you are interested in these ones that I got from Amazon. And this DIY did take a wee while, but it's worth it in the end. And I paint the frame of this mirror from Dollar Tree with some plaster Waverly chalk paint, and then I stain the beads with the antique wax and also over the chalk paint. And then I take some gem tack glue, and then I am just gonna glue them all on, and I already laid them out. So it's a big one and then a smaller one and a big one alternatively all the way around. Oh, and there's Ethan playing again. He's always coming in and playing with my craft stuff. Well, actually that's the AC remote. So I just keep gluing it all the way around. So I didn't like how there was like spaces in between the beads. So I decided to stain 34, I think, of these half wooden beads, and I'm just using the gem tack glue again to glue them in between the beads. And I decided that it'd be easier with a paintbrush, so I started doing that. And I used the gem tack glue for this because I painted that plastic frame, so I didn't know if the wood glue would hold. And I love how this turned out. It turned out so beautiful, and you can always paint it a different colour if you like. And it did take time, but it was definitely worth it. I was trying to hold some cardboard to film it, so I didn't get any reflections in the mirror. So it was a bit wobbly. And for this last 2-in-1 DIY, I have these wooden signs from Dollar Tree, and I have 12 tower blocks, and I'm just using the super glue, wood glue, to glue them together, and 4 blocks for each. And then I glue 2 of the blocks to one of the signs, and I'm going to use the note card to space it out, because I'm going to be sticking note card to it later on. And then I just wipe off the excess glue, and then for the next wee shelf I just put one on the very bottom. And then once they're dry, I stained it with the Waverly Antique Wax and also 20 beads. And I had have loads of these wee pots from the succulents in Dollar Tree, so I decided to use the plaster paint and the gold paint to paint them, but I ended up painting 1 plaster and 2 gold, and then I painted the styrofoam in the inside in the ink chalk paint. And then I have 4 more of these cards in the 2 different patterns. And I'm just cutting off the back pieces with some scissors. This bit doesn't matter too much because we're going to be trimming off the sides later on. And then I sprayed the Elmer's glue again and just stuck them down where I wanted them. And the gold one I had to redo because I'd put far too much of that spray adhesive on it, so just be careful of that. So here, I hadn't thought this through. I wanted to use the an X-Acto knife to take off the edges so that they would be perfectly flush, but obviously there's the little shelf parts on it. So I had to do this on the very edge of the table with cutting mat, so you can't really see, but and just do it on the edge with the little shelf bit hanging off. And then I reused the twine hangers that came with this, and I just put it through, then put beads on, and then I just hot glued the back a little bit, and I used 10 beads for each one. And then I just put some flowers and greenery in one of the pots, and then I put a succulent in each of the other pots. And this is how it turned out, and I love how they turned out, especially the blue one. You guys can let me know in the comments down below which one of these DIYs was your favourite today, and is there anything you would do differently. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.